Oh, you just witnessed the Nigel James Jr. show. The sensational freshman out of Lehigh in New York leads the Big East in scoring in conference games. The hype was real, and he lived up to it. Welcome into TNT Sports College Basketball Postgame Show. Marquette, wow, you just watched their greatest performance of the season. They were dominant in this game in a win over Creighton. I'm your host, Tim Doyle, alongside Jalen Rose, Jamal Mashburn, and Bruce Pearl. Guys, the first matchup, Creighton was up 31 points when they played in December. In this game, Marquette led by 30 points. What just happened out there?
That's a program-defining win because all W's aren't created equal, and here's what I mean. You're on national TV, you're in last place, they're in third place, and you just said they got blew out the last time they played. To have a dominant performance like this in front of your home fans is going to build so much confidence in each one of those players, the coaching staff, and they're building something special. Well,
we all know Shaka Smart's not a guy who's into transfers.
Yeah.
Likes to play young guys, right? He had some key departures last year, and now Mash starting to mature in front of our eyes.
Well, when you look at 52 points in the paint, they were actually, everything was downhill. It started with the backcourt. And the thing I like about what Shaka Smart is doing, he's going against the grain, not necessarily with NIL, but with the transfer portal. And I think it's an opportunity for young kids to get playing time and experience. You're going to take your lumps on the chin, some losses early because of freshmen, but they start to grow up and you start to develop a foundation for that particular program, especially with that kid in the backcourt, James Jr. He can really play and set the tone for the foundation moving forward, not just on the scoring end, but on the defensive end as well.
How do you feel about that? What Shaka is doing? Is it going against the grain? Like, when I see a game like that from a freshman, I'm sorry, like, cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. Like, the guy's price is going up. He's leading the Big East in scoring as a true freshman in conference games. Or is he loyal to a coach? Like, do you like this play?
Yeah, look, he was a highly thought-of guard, but he was an undersized guard, and not everybody in the country wanted him. Okay, Shaka did and believed in him and put him in a position where he's highlighting his abilities as the leading scorer as a freshman. He's trusting him. I don't have a crystal ball, but I say a guy like Nigel James Jr. is going to be loyal and recognizing the Marquette program. You know, they say adversity reveals character.
Yep.
When you're in last place in the Big East, okay, that's hard for a coach to get his team excited about playing. This Marquette team is still excited about playing. They're still young. And what they saw tonight was Creighton couldn't stay in front of them. I mean, it was my turn to go downhill and score, my turn. Now, Creighton doesn't have a rim protector, so there was some real challenges there. But this could be a catapult. I think what it's saying is, how good is UConn? They've played a lot of close games this year. How good is St. John's? They struggle to score. If Marquette's the worst team in this league, every night, guys, it's going to be a battle.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting. And Coach brings up a great point. And Jalen, I know we probably agree with this as well. When you're a player and you're given an opportunity where other schools haven't given you an opportunity, you'll stay there and you'll be loyal. They're going to have to retain him, obviously, and pay him a little bit more money, but that's a part of the budget if you're going that particular direction. I like what Shaka Smart is doing. I think it's an opportunity for young high school kids to get back into the mix when other schools are not recruiting high school kids and just going through the transfer portal. So I like the development process that goes along with what Shaka Smart is doing.
You were obviously one of the most highly recruited freshmen of all time. You played on a legendary team that recruited all freshmen. If the number was outrageous after your first year at Michigan, would you have looked at leaving?
Not at all, because of everything they said about Shaka Smart doing for James Jr., Steve Fisher did for me. Like in high school, I was a swing player. When we played the state championship, our center got injured. I jumped center. So when I went to bed the night before the game, it was going to be my Magic Johnson moment the next day. But then when I got to college, he trusted me to play point guard. And so you guys know back then, people were like very strict about positions. Correct. And so for him to take that chance and put me as a 6'8" point guard of the team, I definitely wouldn't have left.
I would have took the money. You guys are better people than me. Wait, show me the money, Coach.
Well, you thinking short term. We think long term.
Nigel James Jr., the hype was real. And Mash, he did a great job of getting in the lane all game long.
Well, they couldn't stay in front of him. He's a 5'10", 5'11" blur. They say he's 6 feet. I don't think he's quite that, but he plays bigger than what he is. Gets out in transition. If you heard the interview, he much loves a an assist as opposed to scoring as well. So he likes to share the wealth, and it seems like he really enjoys playing with his teammates and got everybody involved as well.
Jalen, would you rather score a bucket or drop a dime?
Drop a dime. No question about it. It makes everyone energized, not just the person that scores it.
Yeah, it was all Marquette. They had 34-8 points in the paint in the first half, and then Coach, more downhill drives.
Well, that's one thing about New York City point guards. Everybody can get in the lane. New York City point guards can finish.
Yeah.
It was all Marquette in this game. Energy was high. And then this was highlight reel, Jalen.
Oh, that's just nasty.
Said he hadn't dunked like that since 9th grade.
How about the courage to try it then, if that's the case?
At the end of
point
the game. Yeah.
Well, he was balling. That was the second game of our doubleheader. Our first game of our doubleheader. Danny Hurley, there's some of the Hurley family. Just kidding. There was no school at UConn, but Coach, there was $2 beers, and it was a raucous crowd up there.
They were. UConn had a hard time scoring. Keeping Providence out of the lane. I think the guards have got to play better for UConn. The best guard on the floor for UConn tonight was Malachi Smith.
He was 4-4 from 3. He was a great off the bench, but Providence, to their credit, hung around in this game. UConn got up 10 in the first half, and you felt like they were going to open it up, but Providence hung tough, and this guy, Stephen Vaugh's Mash, can certainly play.
Yeah, he can certainly play. I mean, he's 6'6", 6'7", can knock down some shots. He's a freshman as well. Scores in double figures, but this is another freshman that was the best athlete on phone, Jameer Jones. So he can really stretch the floor with his legs and get up in the air, but UConn was just too much down the stretch, playing a lot of defense.
Tyrus Reed with the steal. He had 19 points, 6 rebounds. UConn takes care of business at home. Providence was another game, guys. They were in it late in the second half, weren't able to close the door. I think they're the best 2-8 team in a Power 5 in all of college basketball, but another tough loss. Another win at home for UConn against a ranked team. And post-game, our Jarrett Greenberg caught up with Malachi Smith.
With Waylon Mullins out today, your role seemed to expand. What was your approach?
Yeah, our approach didn't change. I just make sure I want to stay ready. My coach and teammates put confidence in me. I put the work in. I just want to stay ready.
What are we learning about this team as you guys continue to grit out these hard-fought wins?
I think we're going to be hard to beat, once March comes. We've seen every type of team. We've been in every type of battle. So I think we're prepared for March and ready to make a run.
10-0 in Big East. A lot of them have been close, tight games like this. And does it say something about just the team finding a way?
It's tougher for us in league than it is in non-conference. These people know us very well. We've got issues to be a team that's destroying people right now, but we're good at winning. I don't know if there's ever been more consternation for a 20-1 team that's won 16 in a row, but the monster that we created was obviously the 23 and 24 teams, the way especially the 24 team obliterated people. So everyone wants to see this 26 team play like the 24 team, and we're just not there yet.
Yeah, not there yet, but figuring out and taking care of business. Now they own 4 of the 6 best starts in Big East men's basketball history. Obviously a conference with a ton of history there. And they just figure out a way to get it done time and time again. No Braylon Mullins in this game. Jalen, it wasn't necessarily pretty the entire game, but you never had faith that Providence was going to be able to get it done.
I didn't. And Coach Hurley's soundbite is just an acknowledgement that they have an identity, and it starts with him. You're going to play hard, you're going to share the ball, and you're going to find ways to win. It's not going to be everybody just jacking up threes and trying to win by 20 points. And he took advantage of the transfer portal. Tyrus Reed has been big for them. They got him from Michigan. He got a couple of big steals. He played really good in the paint. He was a force down low.
Yeah, as for Tyrus Reed, you see him out there. He only played 9 minutes in the first half, Coach. He had 10 points. How big of a factor is he have to be their best player, their third best player? Like, what role does he need to play for this team to go forward?
Well, at the end of the day, Rybar and Reed were 14 for 15 from the floor.
That's pretty good.
So it's pretty good. I mean, you got to get those guys established on the inside. And that's the one thing that not every team in the Big East has is 2 big bodies down there that you can score. And, they do a nice job of passing. I think Reed can be a dominant player. For me, though, for this UConn team to reach its peak, Solo Ball's got to play better. He's got to shoot it better. He's got to share it better. He's got the ability, and you really could tell, without Mullins out there, they weren't as good in the backcourt. One of the guys in the portal, Malachi Smith, what a great pickup from Dayton.
Yeah.
A tough kid, a winner. And like Coach Hurley says, they're not going to dominate, but they're just going to continue to find a way to win.
When I look at UConn, it makes me really look at Arizona and see what the gap really is. Arizona has not lost. They have all the pieces to win a championship, and then there's everybody else. Because I can look at UConn and pick out certain holes that they have in their game. Offensive rebound and taking care of the ball. Just pure offense on the perimeter at times, they struggle. So I don't quite know. I think they're a Final Four team, but I don't think they're a national championship team, in my opinion.
I think you're spot on. Obviously, that's the only loss UConn's had this year, right? They lost to Arizona. But in that game against Arizona, Terrace Reed didn't play. Braylon Mullins didn't play. I don't know if UConn is the best team in college basketball, but I do know this. 40 minutes, you're going to have your hands full. Like, they don't make too many mistakes. They've been around the block. They slow down. They like to play in the half court. Yeah, obviously, look at the standings right here. And, guys, what I really want to talk about, UConn's a tournament team. St. John's a tournament team. I believe Villanova's a tournament team, and I mean lock. After that, Jalen, I'm not so sure about anybody else.
Especially after tonight. That's why that was such a poor loss for Creighton. And I think they'll still get in, but those will be the only teams from that conference.
Yeah, I thought they could be 5. Though maybe a Butler. You were high on Seton Hall. Now all of a sudden, I think there's a lock 3, and maybe a 4th sneaks in.
I mean, you talked about it earlier, the Big East tournament.
Yeah.
If somebody was to come out of the blue and win that tournament, and then you probably could have 4 or 3. I think personally now it's UConn and St. John's. Villanova, to me, is probably sitting right at that bubble in my estimation. They still a lot more work to do and opportunities to do it. But the class of that league is UConn, with St. John's being inconsistent at times at that 2 spot.
Anything you see in this league, Coach?
I think Butler is a team that has a talent to be able to make a little bit of a run. Seton Hall is so solid defensively that they're going to make it hard for people to score. I don't count those guys out yet. I would just say this. I'm going to say they're going to get 4. I don't know who the 4th is going to be.